Hello and welcome to TOD Dice, where we're cracking open the window of our Grotmas Calendar for Day 2. Hark! The Dark Angels! The greatest chapter to ever roam the Emperor's halls. And everybody knows it. I don't know why you call us traitors and things, because we've done nothing wrong. I'm going to get so much shit for this. The combined forces of the Deathwing and Ravenwing are front and centre for today's Grotmas Calendar in a new detachment for the Dark Angels, the Lion's Blade. I'm already sold. I love the name. And bringing together Ravenwing and Death, yeah. Look how cool they are. You've got your Primarch, because ours can return. You've got Terminators, you've got Land Raiders, you've got... they are the new Storm Speeders. And then the new bikes. I miss the classic bikes. I'm going to kit bash mine as jet bikes. Little First Company Dreadnought over there. I mean, I say little, he's not that little, is he? They're just so cool. And I'll have nobody tell me otherwise. There is no more significant duty to the inner circle of the Dark Angels than the pursuit and capture of the Fallen. The Lion's Blade task force combines the speed and maneuverability of a Ravenwing with the obdurate might of the Deathwing. Bikes, aircraft and speeders of the former thunder across the battlefield, smashing through enemy formations, place teleport homers in key positions behind the enemy lines. Then comes the Deathwing, appearing in crackling flashes of blue light to enact retribution with brutal efficiency. Yes, this is how I want stuff to play. This sounds cool. Dark Angels players will be using Ravenwing models to pin down their enemies within the Lion's Claws, a detachment rule that forces units to fall back from them to make a desperate escape test. Ravenwing then earn +2 to their charge rolls whenever their target is within engagement range of a Ravenwing unit. Sounds interesting. The enhancements and stratagems in the detachment continue this joint cooperation theme. With the Fulgus Magma Teleport Homer, a Deathwing character can place themselves and their unit back into strategic reserves so as to rapidly redeploy Terminator units. I like that. With focused determination, the Ravenwing can use the Knights of Iron stratagem, move through terrain features that would normally have shielded their targets. And tomorrow, what have we got? This won't be the last Angels we see this Grotmas, but tomorrow we're celebrating a different festive tradition. Eating too much. With the Tyranids. So what have we got? The Lion's Blade Task Force. Detachment rule in the Lion's Claws. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters or vehicles, within engagement range of one or more Ravenwing units from your army, falls back, very situational, all models in that unit must make a desperate escape test. When doing so, if that enemy unit is battle shocked, subtract 1 from each of those tests. Very situational. Each time I'm obviously missing something with that, or maybe it's just rubbish because it sounds rubbish to me. And then the Deathwing side, each time a Deathwing unit from your army declares a charge, if one or more targets of that charge within engagement range of one or more Ravenwing units in your army, add 2 to the charge roll. That's quite nice. And restrictions, you can include Dark Angels units but cannot include any Adeptus Astartes units drawn from any other chapter. Standard. But what have we got then? Enhancements. The Caliber Knight armaments, 15 points. This is Adeptus, they're all going to be Adeptus. Oh no, there's a few variations. Adeptus Astartes model only, add 1 to the damage characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons. Lord of the Hunt for 15 points. Ravenwing model only. The bearer's unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back, and you can reroll desperate escape tests taken for models in the bearer's unit. Maybe I'm just not au fait with how desperate escape tests work, because running away is a coward's job. I don't mind that. Being able to shoot and charge after you've fallen back isn't terrible. Stalwart Champion is a captain, a chaplain or a lieutenant model. While the bearer's unit is not battle shocked, add 1 to the objective control characteristic for models in the bearer's unit. It's not the worst. And then the Fulgus Magna, Deathwing model only. Once per battle, at the end of your opponent's turn, or once per battle, at the end of your opponent's turn, if the bearer's unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does, remove the bearer's unit from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. So I know all that is fairly standard, and I know it's strong, But surely the idea with, like, in my head, so you'd put that on Deathwing Knights, which are purely melee focused. It's once per battle, so it's not like you can do it every turn. So would you drop them in and then charge, fight, hopefully wipe out whatever you're fighting, and then you can do it again and move them around? You'd have, what, 3 or 4 turns to do it? It's a little more situational than I originally thought. I'll be honest, I'm not in love with these, but they're not terrible. I'm used to the Dark Angels kind of being crap this edition. But let's look at stratagems. Maybe there's something here that shines. We've got 3 strategic and 3 battle tactics. One of the battle tactics is Armor of Contempt, so I'm not going to go over that. Overpowering Exaction. When command phase or the start of a fight phase, target 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army. Effect, select 1 enemy unit within engagement range of your unit. The enemy must make a battle shock test. When doing so, if your unit has the Deathwing or Ravenwing keyword, subtract 1 from the result. Restrictions: you can only use this stratagem once per battle round. If you need an objective, I just don't think battle shock tests are quite as good as Games Workshop think they are, or rules that force them, but maybe I'm missing something. It's entirely possible. Strength in Unity. When fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. Target 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. And the effect: if that enemy unit is within engagement range of 1 or more Ravenwing units from your army, until the end of the phase, each time a model in that army makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Not bad. If that enemy is within engagement range of 1 or more Deathwing units from your army, until the end of the phase, each time a model in the enemy unit makes an attack, if the strength characteristic of that attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of the target, subtract 1 from the wound roll. And restrictions: the unit cannot be targeted by this and the Armor of Contempt stratagem in the same phase. That's fair. Knights of Iron. Your movement phase or your charge phase on 1 Ravenwing unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a normal, advance, or charge move, it can move horizontally through terrain feet. Again, it's situational, but that's quite nice, and it's strategic ploy, so it's not like you can have a captain just churning it out free every turn. It's good for getting into places, I guess. Illuminating Fire. When your shooting phase, just after a Ravenwing unit from your army has selected its targets, and you target that Ravenwing unit, and the effect: select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches of your unit that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Deathwing unit makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, add 1 to the wound roll. Like Tracer Fire then, isn't it really? Select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches of your unit that was selected. So if you shoot someone that is within 12 inches of this Ravenwing unit, you just have your Deathwing Terminators pile in. That's not bad, actually, and it's a battle tactic. I don't think that's bad. And Inescapable Wrath. When end of your opponent's charge phase, target on 1 Deathwing Infantry or Deathwing Walker unit from your army that is within 6 inches of 1 or more enemy units, and will be eligible to declare a charge against 1 or more of those enemy units. If it were your charge phase, hold on, let me get my head around that. So Deathwing Infantry or Walker that is within 6 inches of 1 or more enemy units but would be eligible to declare a charge, so not in combat. And not having fallen back or whatever. Yeah, okay. And this is in your opponent's charge phase. Your unit now declares a charge that only targets 1 or more of those enemy units, and you resolve that charge, so it's a counter charge. Restrictions: note that even if this charge is successful, your unit does not receive any charge bonus this turn. Would it be too strong at 2 CP? All the others are 1 CP, by the way. Armor of Contempt is the same. At 2 CP, would it be too strong to just say you get your charge bonus as well? Because you are reacting and charging. I think the Nurgle one's better so far. That's nice. It's expensive and it's situational. It's very situational. It's great for like bodyguarding a certain unit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of use cases. I mean, maybe protecting the lion. from an incoming charge, or your commander, or a shooting unit, like Hellblasters or something. But it's a short range at 6 inch. It's a counter charge without the punch. Does a charge bonus include you fighting? You resolve that charge, so you would charge in. Do you get to fight first because you've charged? Or does that count as a charge bonus? I'm confused. I obviously don't understand these rules. I haven't played 10th for a long time. Yeah, it's a cool name. The Lion's Blade. It's a cool idea, having Ravenwing and Deathwing together. I quite like the... If your enemy is within engagement range of a Ravenwing unit, you get plus 2T charge rolls for Deathwing. I don't really care for Desperate Escape tests, and you guys in the comments will have to tell me if I'm missing something there. I don't think the enhancements are all that exciting compared to some of the other enhancements in... I mean, I really like the Inner Circle Task Force. And I quite like some of the detachments in the core Space Marines Codex. I know they don't win things, but I don't look at the competitive angle, I look at what's fun. And there's a couple of stratagems here that are quite good. Inescapable Wrath is nice, but it's expensive and it feels a bit limp. Illuminating Fire I really like. I like the idea of units working together, like you've got your Crossfire and your Marker Lights. Knights of Iron is quite nice, and let's just move through terrain. Especially in your charge phase, you can just charge through whatever is in front of you. That's quite nice. Situational, you're not going to do it every turn, but that's quite nice. Yeah, the others, they're very situational. I don't think this one changes things up as much as, certainly as I was hoping, but then this is GW, I shouldn't get my hopes up too high, should I, for 40k 10th? Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it's terrible, I just don't think it improves on anything, and it doesn't feel, certainly to me, that it increases anything to do with the Dark Angels where they are at the moment. Outside of the competitive, we're just going to spam Azrael and Inner Circle Champions and, you know, like, play them under Gladius. I still think that you're going to want to do that, and I think that there are much better detachments. I don't think that... And maybe this is too... This whole calendar idea is a really cool idea, but they're not actually giving you something that's better to play with, they're just giving you an extra option. But we'll see, it's only day 2, there's another 28 to come. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.